So, the future of herd improvement is in the hands of young, passionate professionals, and today we get to hear from them directly. This session is led by Penny Welch, who's spent over a decade in TLG and Genetics Australia Group and is dedicated to mentoring the next generation. Her approach to life and industry is to do it with passion, care and courtesy for those who follow us in the future. She also believes that there's a job in agriculture for everyone, even if you don't wish to get your hands dirty. She's joined by two rising stars, Jewell, an NHIA Young Achiever who, with no previous agricultural background, threw himself into the herd improvement industry at the age of 19 and has been with National Herd Development for 7 years, as well as Victoria Alexander, a Marcus Oldham Rural Leadership Scholarship winner and a director at NuGenes at just 25 years old. Let's hear what drives these emerging industry leaders. Please welcome Penny, Dylan and Victoria talking about career-driving insights from industry's rising stars.
Thank you, Jewell.
Want you there?
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, thank you very much for this opportunity to come and present here. It's incredible. I've never been to herd before, so it's a great first one, and to get up on stage in front of so many people that I admire myself. I also would like to thank Paul for the semen demonstration. It's nice to know that the room has the same reaction as the 17-year-old boys that I have come and see it at work. So that's fantastic. So what we kind of wanted to cover today in our session was just the three of us have done some form of leadership group, leadership program, I suppose, through NHIA, through the Gardner Foundation, and you know we're in debt to them for that, and it's fantastic that they've been able to give us those opportunities. We really appreciate it. So we sort of just wanted to discuss what we've done and how it has actually benefited us. So it was very much an honour for all of us to be nominated for Young Achievers. To get a plaque on it that says you're young when you're my age is fantastic. I am all over that. So yeah, it was an honour to be even just nominated for those things. And then it was, what do we expect when we go into this course? Because no one likes to surprise the surprise. They all like you to go in blind and you'll see, you'll love it. So I was going to ask our guys here and comment myself, sort of what expectations did you have going into your course, if any, and were they met or were they completely the other way?
Do you want to start?
I had no expectations going in. I thought I'd just go in with a clear mind and see what happens. It probably was, I guess you could say, kind of opened my mind up to different opportunities there and values and what, you know, you sort of, yeah, I don't really know.
That's okay, no problem.
No, it just opened my mind to lots of other different things in the industry that other people do, and there's lots of, I suppose, different ways that we don't really do things that other people do, so it was quite interesting in that way.
And Dylan?
Yeah, look, I went in, didn't really know what to expect. I'd done a leadership and management course. So, yeah, it was really just to get an insight of what could go on in that area, further me skills. I had no expectations of exactly what they were going to fully be telling us, but a couple of days in Melbourne and being the only person from this industry in that room, they thought it was fantastic that what we did, like we were sitting there with people from Direct Chemist Outlet and everything, and they had no idea. They were worried about travelling 5Ks to get home when they worked out how far I'd gone. They were blown away. But yeah, met different people. They weren't from this industry. But yeah, it was just kept an open mind, went in there, didn't know what to expect, and walked out of there with a heap of knowledge, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose it was the same. I've done the same course as Victoria through Marcus Oldham. I went in there absolutely packing myself and met a group of people who were the same. We trauma bonded. We're still in contact now. The teachers seemed to love putting you through your rank in there. So I sort of didn't have the expectation of anything the same as these guys, and then it turned around and I expected this to be so much more of a physically demanding thing, don't ask me why. And I got there, and the amount of mental demand that was on us to go, all right, you want to be someone who can be turned to in the future. You need to look into yourself. We need to find out what your weaknesses are, what are your problems and your shortcomings that you need to work on to relate to a team and then actually move forward together. So I actually found that completely left of field where I expected we'd go, and it was just brilliant. What did it mean to the two of you? I've sort of covered a little bit, but what did it mean for the two of you to be nominated for this and to achieve obviously going to complete a course like this?
Oh, when I got my award accepted, it got a free feed. That was good. No, like, I suppose humbling's probably the word that comes to mind. As said when I was coming up, no agriculture background at all for me. Got into it through school, and yeah, I started at ABS, started that, working my arse off really. And you sit there and you think, oh, look, am I getting anywhere? Are people noticing? Like, you're not trying to really hope someone comes up and goes, oh, I've seen what you're doing there. But, pat on the back every now and again kind of thing. And to get nominated for an award like this, you go, shit, people are actually noticing what I'm doing. And you feel appreciated. And to be called young. I think
it's a reoccurring thing. We've all got a plaque that we can sit in our house now and go, I was young.
I was 2022 I got mine, and I was 31 that year, and still, to be considered young, it was like, hey, here we go. So, yeah.
No, it's nice to know that people in the industry have the confidence in you and what you can do, and they see the potential that you might not see. So it's quite nice. I agree with everything you guys have said. It's nice.
It's incredible to think people that we admire can actually turn around to us and go, "You're doing a good job."
Yeah,
good on you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No,
I was nominated by Christian Hickey.
Yeah.
No longer with us, of course, but. When he was talking to me about it, and he said, have you got an updated resume so I can have a look at a few things? And he goes, gee, you've been doing this a while. Oh, you've done a bit. It's like, well, no, I haven't. He was surprised. But that I'd started when I was 19 and I was still doing it. So it was, and then to get nominated, it was like, all right, well, must be all right at this, surprisingly.
So it's been covered a little bit. Victoria, I haven't actually asked you this, but were you brought up in an agricultural background, or did you actually come in?
I grew up on a dairy farm. We started at Princetown and went up to Finley, New South Wales.
Yep.
So I grew up there, and I then went and done work placement at NuGenes in Numurkah and
never left.
I did have a little stint where I did leave, but I come back. But no, pretty well 7 years, I think it's
wow, that's incredible.
Been since then. So
well, I suppose that's a contrast as well. Yourself have grown up in agriculture, whereas we've not. I've got relatives back further who were beef farmers, but we were actually brought up in town, and as those kinds of young kids trying to get into the industry, sort of always feeling a bit like the outsiders, and we're not going to be quite as accepted as someone who's grown up around this. What do you think helped you or hindered you in your way to where you are now?
Definitely Bull, Adam Daniel, pushing me to do everything. Yes, he's always pushing me to do more and be better. Yeah, and the rest of the guys as well. So,
How about you, Dylan?
Oh, look, there's been people throughout the journey that have really helped me a lot. The likes of Tim Sedgley, Neville Pullen when he eventually caved in and after 2 years of annoying him with resumes and give me a job.
Bruce.
Who?
Bruce.
Who's Bruce? Bruce Ronalds. He's always, till this day, still give him a call and have a chat, and the people that you meet and the connections you make and the friendships, like, it keeps you going into it. Of course, we're all here because, a lot of us are here because we love cows. So we've all got that all in common. Brings us all together. But it's guys like that stick in your mind, and farmers that you've worked for, and just makes you sit there going, right, I'm doing the right thing here.
I think you'll agree there was, of course, an ag teacher, Mr. Philip Marnie, who really inspired us from Emmanuel College to get into dairying. So that was a lot of unpaid hours, a lot of time after work.
He called me Jason for the first 2 years. But
Lasting impression.
oh, yeah. No, but exactly, and like, yeah, we both went to Emmanuel. Penny's a year older than me, but
Sure.
So anyway, no, so Phil Marnie, like, yeah, he was a major influencer early on for both of us. We had the ag course at school, rearing calves, and my dream was to go work at midfield and work on the lamb floor with my brother, like on the mutton chain, because, you know, he was cool and he drove a Valiant, so why not? That's massive aspirations. But the one parent-teacher interview that Mum went to, we sat down and Phil Marnie was looking at all my things and he goes, look at that, A+, A+. And I was like, oh, yeah, right, whatever. And he looked at Mum and goes, he's good at this, he should stick to it. And Mum goes, there you go, you're good at something. So it's the only advice I've really ever taken off my mother, and it paid off.
Look where you are now.
Yeah, so, but no, like, yeah, that was, and it's a shame now that Emmanuel don't do any of that. Phil really, well, to this day, he still doesn't do any AI or anything like that, and I just can't figure that out. But, you know, he was always there, and, you know, we used to go there on the weekends and milk at his place, and just, yeah, he really, really just wanted to help young people into the industry, and we've made careers out of it.
Yeah, and it's pretty much all thanks to him, I suppose, which sort of leads into sort of the last question area that I had is, where's the industry going? And from my point of view, I know that there's that gap, that daylight between metro and rural is getting larger. Now there is more people and more kids who are around who actually don't know where their milk comes from, which is a sad thing. We've had a lot of workshops. We used to do the Fun for Kids Festival to just try and get some of these kids back into it and show, well, we're going to milk the cow in front of you and then you can taste the milk. And the mind's blown in that kind of situation. Really just, it was good to try and bring that gap a bit closer together. But I think it's going to be a real problem in our industry going forward, is we need to get more young people involved, and we just don't have the exposure that we used to, such as ag in colleges and things like that. So what do you think we can do? I know that's a huge question, it's $1 million question, but what do you think we can do to try and get some more young people into our industry? Because we're not all going to be able to milk cows or inseminate cows until we're 90, and we don't want to.
Well, some of it.
Okay.
Did you want to
No,
start?
you go for it.
Look, that is the $1 million question, but I suppose I like to look at it as my stepdaughter. I'm in that situation. She's 15 next week, and yeah, 15, that, holy shit. But, you know, on her dad's side of the family, from a dairy farm, never had anything to do with the cows. They've sold the herd, gone beef, but she's keen. And yeah, that might be one kid in Hawkesdale that's keen on getting into dairy cows, but she might have some friends that want to come along to Nurut Show and have a look or whatever. Like, there's the opportunities there, and we could have easily said, nah, shit, I'm not driving you over to Mount Gambier so you can get out of Adelaide Show, like, bugger off. But she's keen, and you're not going to sit there and say no, you're going to nurture that. And it's an interest that we both have. So, yeah, as you said, it's $1 million question, but there is kids out there that want to do it, and Grace wants to learn to AI, but I told her I'm not teaching her because we will just lock on something shocking. But, you know, little things, we've got a miniature Hereford at home. She's broken it in as a little bit of fun, which has got Maisie, who's 3 next week, trying to lead around the backyard. Like, little things like that can really add up to getting young ones into it. That's just my personal thing with it. Yeah, I don't know, what do you think?
I think some more schools, like exposure, like career days at school where there's more, you know, more than just us AI technicians, but multiple different people from the industry do a career day and actually, you know, get the grade 10s and 11s sort of and 12s obviously involved, and sit down and have those discussions and tell them what you do. And hype it up, make it sound like, oh, well, it is the best thing in the world, I think. So it's not like you have to make it up, it is.
Yeah.
But that sort of thing is encouraging to them if, you know, they are interested, but they just don't know where to go with it. So.
Yeah. 100%, and we do it down at Camperdown. We open our business up to kids. We've got Darren College coming down at the end of this month, and just trying to get that exposure out there. We do a bit of work with Neil Porter Legacy as well to just try and expose kids to you know, the science side of it, which is what was said in the introduction. You don't have to get your hands dirty if you don't want to be in agriculture, is what we try and push. That, you know, a farmer also needs a lawyer, he needs an accountant, he needs someone to advise on his feeding, what he's going to do, he needs a breeding advisor. So very much trying to push that to all of them, that you don't have to get in the mud if you really don't want to, you can still help from another point of view.
And I suppose it's, going back to the old cows create careers and just letting the young ones know. It sounds weird saying the young ones, but that, the cow's the centre of it, but there's all this other stuff around it. Yep. So as you said, there is lawyers, there's agronomists, there's everything like that. You don't have to be getting up at 4 a.m. and getting milk. I was going to say other words then, but and plugging cows. So there's other areas to it. It's a massive industry, and just the opportunities are endless, really. Yeah, you don't know what you're not shown, so I'm just need to try and get out there. So we do have extra time, but I believe we're through what we were going to discuss, Chang.
From the floor? Or?
Yeah, happy to take questions if there are any.
Sensible ones.
Thank God Sarah's reviewing them. Oh, no.
The bald man down the front here.
Anthony Shelley. Hey, I think this session really flowed on well from Sarah's previous presentation. And I guess my question to the three of you is that, the industry's invested in yourselves, and, you spoke a little bit about it, but I'm sort of keen to understand how some of that development is changing the way you're operating today, in terms of, whether that was the personal development piece or, some professional development. Sort of keen to understand how that's changed the way you operate today.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to start? No, I'll start. He signs my paychecks, I'll go first. So to me, the professional and personal development was sort of on par for those things. I very much keep in mind that Sarah and the industry have invested in me, and that I need to pay back for that. So how we try and do that is through volunteer stuff, through bringing these school groups, through trying to expose the industry in a good light, has been stated, to the next generation, and that it's a great place to be and it's a great family to be a part of. Before that course, I would not be sitting up here doing this. I would be having a panic attack around the back. It wouldn't be something that I would absolutely be able to do, which is another thing that I think benefits, that I can actually stand up now, sit down now and tell my story and try and encourage the next people to come in.
Yeah, right. Look, I suppose from when I went and done the course, I learned a lot about myself, and it's a self-development thing. You learn what you're doing and what you shouldn't be doing, and how you can improve on things. And one thing that I definitely did take away from the course that I done was need to learn how to delegate, and whether that comes in handy with moving forward after doing the management course, and one day hopefully move up into a position like that and have young ones under me and go from there.
Vic?
I think sometimes,
It's all right.
it comes down to sometimes perspective as well. Like growing up, sometimes you want to party and everything and, live your life, and you don't really, I think I've changed my perspective a lot in the last 3 years, that I just want to grow and be better and do more. I don't really know how to answer your question.
No problem. Thank you, Anthony.
We can talk later.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, Penny Con. How do we get these kids out of Essendon onto a bus, run them down home, throw them to a dairy herd, take them out to your joint, run them through there, down to Logan's or Monk's, through the big machinery, back up through Fonterra and back into Essendon, and really expose them to what we do?
I would 110% love to do something like that. So I've been working with local schools because that's my reach at this moment. 100% would be happy to be a part of something like that, as long as Anthony lets me do it.
I think everybody in the industry would be or should be,
Yeah.
but the real opinion is how do we make it happen?
Yeah. So working with Neil Porter Legacy, they do a fair bit with trying to close some of those financial gaps. So we go, the money for that to be able to happen is those kids getting on a bus and coming out of the city. So we can try and work with them to make that happen. Their role is to try and expose kids to different parts of industry, including agriculture, including science and trades and what have you. So I think programs like them are great to try and work with to get that financial gap closed, so it's not costing us an expansion amount of money to have them come down. It's not costing them either. So we can get them out, they do a good day, they see different parts of the industry, there's light bulbs going off in their heads you can see, and yeah, I think that would be really good.
Yeah, even at the stage, move outside of dairy a little bit and move them up on the Western Plains going home. Take them through Bingham's sheds, something of that nature, you know.
Yeah.
Expose them to the whole myth that food just doesn't come from Safeway.
Yeah, close the gap. 100%. Thanks, Con. Yep.
Thanks for the discussion. You joked about it, but the young person stuff really resonates. Dylan, you also talked a lot about your stepdaughter as well, and I was just wondering what are your opinions on the suggestion of having another award, the Junior Achievers?
The Junior Achievers.
Yeah, right. And, you know, there could be merit to it. But I suppose, you know, us being young achievers and that being under that 35, we've stuck in the industry. So, you know, where would you put the cut-off for a junior person in there? Like, if they're there for 6 months and, yeah, you're throwing an award out, then they're gone. Like, yeah.
I suppose another angle is that it's almost like an encouragement thing. So if they've come in, then we look at them and we go, we're appreciating your enthusiasm and everything that you're demonstrating. Here's an encouragement. Let's send you off to do a bit of upskilling, and then hopefully that will keep them in the industry as well. Any comments, Vic?
I agree with you. Yeah.
No problem. I think we've got 2 online. So Joe, have you had any involvement with school-based program called Cows for Careers? I have not personally. I think it's something we would definitely need to look into, but no, I have not. Apologies. Any of you guys had anything with that? No. It wasn't part of school when we were there either.
Back in the day, no.
We had Cows Create Careers, but not Cows for Careers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the same.
Sorry, we can't really help with that one. John, I'm guessing it's John Holland. One of the exciting parts of our industry is you never know where you'll end up. Your current roles, how did you get there, and was it where you thought you'd be? Who wants to start? I'll go if we're sitting there like stunned mullets.
John can't spell. Well, one of the exiting parts of the industry.
Back to our school teacher, Phil Marnie actually grabbed me on an open day and threw me in front of Anthony Eccles and said, this kid needs to learn how to milk cows and I wanted to go with you. So that's how I got into the industry, milked Anthony Shelley's cows for a while at Anthony Eccles, and TLG showed up one day to do this thing called flushing on our farm, and lovely young Amy took me into the van and she let me look down the microscope and see some embryos at 17, I think, and I went, I want to go there, that looks really cool, that's something that I want to do. So worked at Anthony's for a while and took a bit of a break in between there, and Steve Williams rang me one day and said, my stockman's tried to blind himself with some fencing wire, do you want to come and move some cows for me? So that's how I ended up at TLG 10 years ago, and I've never left. Moved through the business, through different aspects of the business, and it's just always been a natural flow. Through here, I just feel like I'm where I'm meant to be.
Fair enough. Current role, like, I suppose, starting at ABS, the service side of things, moved into sales, and was part of the redundancies. Got picked up by NuGenes, was there for a while. Then NHD were looking for a sales rep, and that was the area I wanted to move into. It's what I thought it would be, and more. And I suppose I had the aspirations of getting into sales eventually, and this is where I need to go. And getting older, there's also now looking at, okay, what's my next step after this? And right now where I'm at, things are in place for that to happen. So.
Victoria?
We don't. Oh, wait, we do have a bit of time on the clock.
We don't, but anyway, just go.
Oh, we don't? Okay. I got here through work experience at school. So I'd done a week at NuMeRCA and, obviously started there, and there's no way I thought I would ever buy into the business at the age of 23. It was a bit of a big thing. I didn't think that was going to be something that I would do, but the opportunity come up and the guys, encouraged me, and I took it and ran with it, and here I am.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming up and having a conversation with me, and I hope everyone got something out of it. I think
Everyone
we're
put
over
your...
time.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Everyone put your hands together for Penny, Dylan and Victoria. Thank you so much, everyone. Good job.
Thank you so much.
You guys are great.